That's how cinema should be, really, I think. You know, instead of mobile phones ringing and people answering their calls in the cinema, get involved. I like it.
So obviously the film is in its heart about a skin condition. Did you do any research on skin conditions, or was this just like a story vehicle you came up with in bed, waking up, or whatever?
Well, I actually did some research. The idea originated with the I wanted to do a film about the fear of aging and having your own body decay, and being unable to stop it and to do anything about it. So the Kira does something about it. She tries to do something about it, and we did some research. And actually, if you had a really enhanced metabolism, the skin would grow on as fast as it does in the movie, especially unless your immune system does something about it. So we did really research about it, and it is a little science fiction, but it's within reach. And everything that Barbara says in the end, like Dr. Krover, her speech, that is almost word by word quoted from people who are researching the slowing of aging. And when she said people will live to 150, 300, 600, that is a fact. We're within 20 years of that science.
So you will be trying those new medicines or treatments out. Is this something you worry about yourself, and would any treatment be something you would consider in real life? Let's just assume you don't have to kill people.
Will do. I'll just put a gun and.
Well, for me, it's such a personal fear. This is also a reason why I made the film, when I wrote the script. I would probably do it. I have to admit it. I'm so scared of having my body fall apart. I would probably do it, whatever the consequences. So I'm with her. Whatever, kill those girls.
Question for the actresses, maybe. In your profession, your looks are very important,
yes.
Right? So when you got the script, was it something that, let's say, resonated a little bit?
Absolutely. I'm from New York, but I live in Los Angeles now, and LA is a very superficial town. So I see it all the time, women that have gotten a lot of work done, and and then I had to kind of confront myself about, would I do something like that? And now I say, I'm going to age naturally and gracefully, but I don't know in 20 years what I'll actually do. I don't think so. But I think, someone just told me that if you're alive in the next 30 years, that you have a chance of actually living 1,000 years. Someone just told me that. Think about that.
That's not.
Let's go.
So it'll be interesting when we're doing our 1,000th BIFFF Q&A.
Right? Big pros at this.
Yeah, that would
Just
be
keep on coming onward to the next millennium.
Tell us a little bit about, maybe I'll ask Lucie Aron this specifically, if you may. Tell me a little bit more about the relationship that the character of Sophia exactly has with Kira. Spoiler alert, we know that she is something of a plant, but I have a feeling there's more going on than just that. Can you elaborate?
There is one moment I didn't understand.
About the relationship that your character has with Kira, and why she is attracted to her.
Why?
Yes.
She's amazing.
Yes.
Don't you see? Come on. I don't know. For real. No, really? No kidding.
Yes, but it is a bit of a superficial attraction that she has.
Not sure. She knows her since she knows her before. She knows her since the beginning. So also when she didn't look like 25. And I think that's what she likes. And maybe, yeah, that's like she definitely tell her that she loved the entire Clara.
I think to add to that is when we prepared the characters, we approached them that Sophia was earth and fire, and Kira was air and water, so they complement each other. So Kira is the creative one, the heady one. She always thinks about everything. She always tries to be in control desperately about everything, about our own fate, about our aging, about everything. And Sophia lives very much in the moment.
And feel.
And she feels and she burns and she's like, she wants, she kisses, she wants to have sex. She's in the moment. And that's why when Kira backs away, because it's too fast for her, because she has to think about it first. So they complement each other in that way, and that's why they're attracted to each other. It's a weird attraction, of course, but it is very natural.
I've got a feeling that, I wanted to ask you before why your choice for first movie would be body horror. This is because that's the genre, right?
Yes.
This is close to your heart, isn't it? This is something that's on your mind.
Oh yeah, it's I adore David Cronenberg. I don't think that's a secret. I'm thanking him in the closing credits. I never met him. I met him briefly, but just said hi and nothing else. So that doesn't really count. But I love his work, and I think he inspired me as a filmmaker, essentially.
Rebecca and Lucie, you both had some semi-nude scenes in the film. Were those difficult to do? And was anyone ever as pleased to see you nude as this
We
audience?
started with our love scene. Well, Lucie and I had worked a little bit before, but our first real scene that we filmed was a nudity scene, which Norbert did on purpose. Which was great though, because it's just kind of like, you just dive right into it, like seeing the crew and everything. It's just like, hey, how are you? Yeah. But with Lucie, it was so easy. She just made me feel very comfortable, and you're wonderful. You're beautiful.
Tell us a little bit about the process that involved getting your makeup on, so to speak.
Yeah, that was I came to Germany first for pre-production, and I did a full body cast, and that took about 7 hours, and I had a head cast and everything, and then every day going on to set, it would range from 30 minutes of just like the little pinky, but then at the end in the institution, that took about 8 hours, and I was just lying down the entire time, and they were feeding me my lunch, and there was about 6 people working on me, but I've never worked with special effects makeup before, so it was very interesting to see how it was done, and it's very tedious, but I'm very impressed with how they did it, and somewhere.
I was just wondering if I should spoil the secret.
Yeah, spoiler.
A lot of the special effect scenes, actually most of them were shot at night in the same studio with the same camera, same lighting, but with a double that had a body kind of like Rebecca's, and we were able to shoot with her the whole night, that double, because it takes like 3 hours to put something on, then you shoot 2 hours, and then it takes 2 hours to put it off, and then they have to shoot something else. So if we would have done it with Rebecca, we would have needed, 80 shooting days or something. So we had like a 24-hour shooting schedule.
Thanks. I was just going to ask, what was your major challenge during the shooting process?
I'd probably have to say everything. Well, I had a great team, but we had, as I said on stage, we had really little money, and it was a huge challenge to put everything together. But it was a very familiar shoot. and everyone was helping. And I remember that, like, before the first day of the shooting, you remember Sophia's apartment, the light on the wall, which looks amazing. The production design department didn't have the time to put that up, so our DP just stayed in the studio for the whole night and put that light up, and he didn't sleep 1 hour before the first shooting day. Yeah, together with our production designer Freddy. Where is he? Back there. Yeah, and that's the kind of spirit everyone had on this production, and that's how it was put together, and that's also what I don't know how to say that, but I just did all kinds of things all the time. I was really hands-on and not sitting in the office taking calls. It was a bit more than that.
Yeah, Felix built the mirror that Kira spends a lot of time in front of. You know, the mirror, the round mirror with the lights around it. Felix built that. So
all the small tiles and that. It was a new experience.
Yeah.
You learn on every film.
We kind of had a running joke on set. It was like, who could get the most credits on the film? Like driver / costume helper / builder.
For a low-budget film, the movie looks really good, and I think you owe a big thanks to your DOP, who pulled off a few impossible things, I think. Tell us a little... Yes?
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
You have to know that all exteriors that were shot in Toronto, because originally we planned to shoot the whole film in Canada, but when the financing broke down, we wanted to shoot it in Germany because of funding reasons, but we wanted the film to take place in Canada. So we shot there, and it was like a 7-person crew, and we didn't have like almost no lighting and everything, and Tim made, like, it was a beautiful shot, I think, the exteriors in Toronto, and that was his work, his amazing work.
Let's talk a little bit about how you pulled it off. I think in the movie there are like 2 major atmospheres that you create. In the apartment of Kira and Sophia, there's a very lush, very colorful, lush atmosphere, almost dreamlike, with a lot of backlighting. Right? Can you explain that? What effect you were going for there?
Yeah, when Norbert approached me about this movie, first I thought it was like 2 tasks, like how to create this back flash forward atmosphere, like by dreamy images, and at the same time, like, I think one of the most difficult obstacle was how to make the skin look differently, and then like really shiny, really nice, and then the next part when she's like, when the skin is growing old, to show this, so that you do have a kind of contrast in it. And we did a lot of tests with Anna, the makeup artist, about how to make the skin shiny or like, and make it glow in the dark. And this was one thing we took care about. And about this atmosphere was also like, we shot in the studio, and it was meant to feel like not really in the world, but still in the world. And this is what we tried to create by a kind of a backlight atmosphere.
Question to both of you, maybe. The other atmosphere created in the film is very clinical. It has almost techno music atmosphere to it. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Antiviral, the movie by the son of David Cronenberg, where the very technical, clinical atmosphere kind of is a counterpoint to the body horror. Was that the attention going on there?
It was not like when Antiviral came out.
Yes.
We were already prepping actually replace. So I think Tim and my main influences didn't come from Antiviral. Although it would, like, if I would start prepping replace now, you would be 100% right. Antiviral would be one of the movies we would have watched and looked like, what did they do and how did they achieve it. We actually watched a lot of Dario Argento for the monochromatic stuff. We watched some, again, obvious Nicholas Winding Refn movies. Again, because they're both directors who and they work with the DPs to achieve a lot of color separation, I think. And then we use a lot of filters, which is not But you can say, I don't think it's that common anymore, is it?
No, it's as we are losing celluloid as a film material, it's more coming up, like using vintage lenses, using filters, but Norbert gave me kind of some super freedom to use like 4 or 5 filters, which is to create this kind of atmosphere.
What cameras were used on this film?
We shot on Alexa.
Yes.
On Alexa.
The film does have that vintage Dario Argento, John Carpenter, Wes Craven feel. So what do you think is the attraction of that kind of feel? What's the attraction of that kind of look in a film?
What is the attraction about it? I mean, apart from that, I love those guys and I love their movies, and I grew up with them. My mom, who's back there, she did forbid me to watch The Thing, and then I did watch it on my own.
Which version?
Yeah, I was 12 at the time, so I get it. So I grew up with them, so they're so much part of what I am and who I am. I can't actually even answer the question because they're just part of me, what they did. So.
Lucie, you had to speak another language than your mother tongue in a film. Did you prepare for that in any way? Was it more difficult to act in English than in your own language?
Yes. I mean, I'm actually living in Berlin, so I learned English and German in the previous 2 years, like before the 2 years before shooting. But yeah, I had to coach a little bit. Rebecca coached me. Yeah, it's not easy, but it has also some good parts. Like you don't think too much how you say. You're so happy to deliver. Yeah.
Was that something you wanted to do, Norbert? Was that something you were really interested or keen on, to include actresses or actors from different kinds of countries, different countries?
Yeah, I think the world that we live in is becoming, even though the US currently is trying to counter that development, but I think the world in general
The first Trump reference during the entire BIFFF, any of the Q&As.
Okay, sorry. So, no, but I think the world in general is becoming more multicultural, and I totally welcome that. And so we approached the casting pretty much like the film approaches the sexuality in the film, which is it's not being made a big deal of. It's just 2 human beings who are attracted to each other. So she's from France, okay. So she's from the US, okay. You know, it doesn't matter. They're human beings, they have human emotions, and that's what it's about. The rest doesn't really matter.
Zijn er al vragen in de zaal? Est-ce qu'il y a des questions dans la salle? Vragen